Hi everyone, welcome to Get Ready with me, Louise. So we're moving on to the letter B, and today we're going to be creating this look over here using Bobbi Brown products. Almost how I feel. It doesn't matter how I feel, does it really? At the end of the day, I don't know. Like, what when you hear the brand Bobbi Brown, what do you all think of? I'm just curious. I think of their eyeshadow stick, their primer, for sure. I love it. Wearing that. Their highlighters. I hear some few talk about their highlighters, which I am wearing one today. Wherever I put it's Golden Hour. I do know the name of it. I just don't know where I put it. Oh, I put it in here. And then I have the brick. I know people were talking about the brick highlighters. I have it. But the one I'm wearing today is Golden Hour, which looks like this. And it is a very pretty highlighter. I will give it that. For blush, I'm wearing Hourglass, the shade Lucid Glow. This one right here. So, kind of goes with my shirt, really. And then for bronzer, I am wearing Marc Jacobs and Tantalize. And then for foundation, I'm wearing Marc Jacobs foundation with Charlotte Tilbury concealer. I set the under eyes with Pat McGrath. I set the rest of the face with my Bare Mineral Pro. So, with all that said, lipstick is by, I will say, Bobbi Brown lipsticks. I like this. This is in the color Hibiscus, and I do like this color. It is very pretty. I like it better once it's worn in, though, and they wear so nice. What is this? This is a Luxe lip color. They wear, they go on shiny like a regular satin lipstick, but as they wear, it's almost like it soaks into the skin and it wears off even. It's so beautiful. I will give them that. And then eyeshadow, which we're about to play with. I don't know. I have quite a few. I have a few palettes, not many, but a few, handful. And the one we're going to use today is Bobbi Brown Couture Drama, and it looks like this. And this is what it looks like inside. So this is what we're going to be using today. I mean, it's a pretty basic palette. Is the packaging nice? Sure. Not, again, nothing luxe though. We're going to set the base with this. The base I'm using is a Sigma eyeshadow priming base. I was going to use the Bobbi Brown one, but the Bobbi Brown I have is in a shimmery shade, which I don't know where it is. I used Persuade is the one I used today by Sigma, but it's like a rose color. Golden Pink is the name of it. And I got just a little sample size. I have a couple of them. And this is a very pretty color for like a lid. Maybe even inner corner, depending on the look. But, and they wear fine, but I feel like you're either Bobbi Brown or Laura Mercier. Like you're one of the two. And I kind of lean more on the Laura Mercier because I think, personally, they both wear fine on my eyes. I just think that the color selection that Laura Mercier has, I like a little bit better. You know what I mean? So it's just preference, really. But let's get started. The first shade we're going to go into is light pinky shade. And again, there's really nothing I can talk about with these shadows, to be fair. I kind of probably just turned the camera on and went like, you know what I mean? They're pretty, they're nice, they're interesting. But the same, I put them in the same category as like Estee Lauder, Lancome. All of them work fine. But with everything on the market nowadays, you know. But at the same time, I did look to see about Bobbi Brown on like Sephora and stuff, and they don't have any eyeshadow palettes. So I don't know if they still even make eyeshadow palettes, to be fair. Same with like Laura Mercier. So I'm not really for sure. They do have the eyeshadow sticks and stuff like that, but I don't know. I'm curious. If you all use Bobbi Brown, what is it you use? And I know a lot of people will say like the base, the primer, the lotion. I get that. I mean, I got the big old jar of it, so I get it. But other than that, like, what do you use? We're going to go into this brown right here. And I mean, I didn't have any issues or anything with shadows. Don't get me wrong. Like, no problem. It all went on perfectly fine and easy. They were blendable, buildable, the whole 9 yards. It's just nothing. Like, the formula is just an eyeshadow. You know what I mean? It's not bad. It's not excellent. You know? It's just good. And sometimes that's all you need, and I understand that. Like today, that's all I really need. Is something good. Something that makes me look put together. To be fair, I haven't really been into the makeup. And not into it as in I'm not, I love to do makeup. Don't get me wrong. Love to do my makeup. It's just there's been so much going on that it's worrying me. And it's a constant state of worry, and I just keep praying. Everything's going to work out. Everything's going to be fine. Everything's going to be fine. I just keep saying it over and over, and I pray that it will. So I'm hoping. And it's nothing for me. Like, it has to do with me, but it doesn't have to do with me, if that makes sense. Like, there's issues with people surrounding me, not me in general, but it would affect me in some way, shape, or form, with the problems going on. I used the Tarte Fake Awake for the waterline. I'm just taking that same brown and running it under the lower lash line. I do feel like this palette is an easy day to night palette. You could definitely make just the regular daytime look out of this palette, or make it a nighttime look, depending on how you want it to play with the shades. There's a little bit of options. Again, the base is going to be set up pretty much like this, considering there's only so many mattes. But overall, I'm not like mad at it, and I wasn't mad at it even at the time of the purchasing it. I just feel like the brands, these particular brands, they're all in the mid-range group, which when you're starting in makeup, I feel like you have to go to that group in a way. Now, whether you go above it or not, that's up to you. Whether you stay there, that's up to you. But I feel like once you get here, it's all good. You know what I mean? It's all easy to use. It's all good. But once you've tipped your toe into other things, that's when you're like, oh, okay, type of thing. We're going to go into this shade right here, and I'm actually going to apply it with my finger. I hope it turns out fine. It did on this eye. And we're just going to tap it on the lid. Slow but steady. Because I wasn't for sure on how bright this was going to be. And I didn't want it like to be too bright and pigmented, but I did want a little bit, you know what I mean? So I figured my finger would be the best for application, so I didn't go overboard in a way. And then I just blended it out with my finger. Although I will say it is quite hard to do. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not good at using my fingers. I much prefer brushes. But I do think that it did turn out well using my finger for this particular look. Could I have achieved the same with the brush? Yeah, I could have. It wasn't like there's fallout or anything, but I think the color would have been much more vibrant in a way, especially with the way that I lay the makeup down, but that's a me thing. Okay, now we're going to take this shade right here, and I'm going to put it in the middle of the lid and on the inner corner. This really pretty, it's a beautiful shade. Hold on, let me get it on my finger. And it's a little bit more, it's not a smooth feeling as, say, the other shade I just used, but it definitely has a pop, if you can see that. And I did want that pop to be seen. There was a little bit of fallout with this shade, but not much. And it wiped away pretty easily. There we go. And it kind of toned that shade down, to be fair, too. Let me see. I knew I shouldn't have messed with this eye. Let me get that out of there. Alright, blend it in there a little bit. There we go. Now I gotta get this off my fingers. And then for the inner corner, I am going to use a brush wherever it went to. Here it is. And we're going to apply that same shade right to the inner corner. Like, there's just more impact with the brushes, I feel like, than with your finger. Even though your finger could technically provide more, depending on the shadow. But these shadows are really good to blend into each other, to be honest. But again, nothing, like, I don't know. I don't want to act like it's something special when it's not, but it's nothing. It's not bad either. You know what I mean? So if you do have a palette from them, I think you will like it, or if you should see it on sale or something, you know, and it's pretty affordable. Like, I'm not saying not to get it. For the mascara for the top lashes, we're going to use the IT Cosmetics Superhero. Like, I think you would enjoy it. I think it would, you know, bring you joy and all that. But it's definitely not the best eyeshadow formula on the market by no means. And the color stories are by no means, like, revolutionary. And it really depends on, like, what palette. Like I said, I have a few. There's one that it's called, oh, there's one called Molten Something, and it's pretty. I personally, I like the one that's the rose colored one, Rose Luxe maybe. That's the one I like the best as far as palettes. But they have like a nude 2 palette, a drama nude or something like that, nude 2, and it's basically just a nude, you know, basic palette, you know. But I do like it also. But out of the collection that I have, do I need that? No. Is it anything revolutionary? No. But if I had a smaller collection and I had that, it very well would be a good palette to have, you know. Because like I said, the formula is easy to use. The looks do turn out pretty at the end of the day. But it's never going to be like a like a bam in your face type of look you're going to get with it either. Alright. And then for the bottom lashes, I'm just going to use the Clinique. I barely even touch the bottom lashes with it. It's the bottom lash mascara. Because there really wasn't much I did to the bottom lash line other than run that brown shade under it. But this is just, like I said, it's a basic look. But it was pretty easy to create. No fuss, nothing like that. And I kind of needed that today. Kind of because even though you all haven't noticed I missed anything, I haven't filmed. Like I've said in a previous video, I'm struggling myself, but it's more so people around me struggling. That's kind of taking its toll on worrying all the time. And yeah, you can't help but worry, you know, you just can't help it. And even if they're like, oh, don't worry, it's like, yeah, that's not helping much. That ain't helping much at all. Alright, but this is the final look. So as far as I personally think of Bobbi Brown, the brand, I love the primer. The face base, that's what it's called. Vitamin rich face base. Adore this. Um, One of my top primers probably. I love I got a cat hair. Bam, got it. The lipsticks. There are also, once upon a time, it was the crushed lip oil, I believe it was what the name of it was called. And I had a couple shades of that, and I really did enjoy those too. The highlighter is very pretty. Honestly, it's almost like a glow from within. It's a very subtle, but it's there. Like, you are not missing it, okay? But it isn't showing off too much texture. It's not too bad. So I would say the face base would be number one. Their lipsticks and then highlighters check out. If you're into cream shadows, they do usually have like little mini sets. I would try that and maybe the Laura Mercier because, like I said, you're going to go one way or the other most likely. But as far as like eyeshadow, I hear their foundation and concealer's doing pretty well. But again, I don't know about that. Like I said, Bobbi Brown's not been a brand that's really, it used to be, but it's not as big as it used to be. You know what I mean? Like, it used to be the like a new it girl, but it's not no more. But let me know your favorite products from them, and if you've tried anything new from them, even let me know. But as far as the eyeshadow, neither here nor there. So, but let me know in the comments if you like this video. Give me a thumbs up, subscribe, ring the bell, hit all. That way you're notified when I upload. I upload every day but Sunday unless there's a new launch. And I will see you in my next one. We are still in bees. So I'll see you then. Bye.